Got a quick question for you guys. What do you do when you want a concealed carry, but you're having a difficult time figuring out which gun exactly you want to carry? Maybe you've tried to carry the Springfield XD9 subcompact and it was a little too big or too bulky, maybe a little too wide. And that's a pretty thick gun. Who knows? Maybe whatever your reason is, you know. So you tried that, you didn't like it. So you decided you want to go something small. Maybe like a Ruger LCP, chambered in .380. That's a really small gun though. You try to get a grip on that thing, I mean, it'll get the job done, but man, you got free fingers flying around. I mean, it's just not super comfortable. So, what do? Start to ask yourself, what gun to get? So that was my dilemma exactly. And then I decided that I was going to get the Keltec PF9 9mm. Alright, so as you can see, I started with a large firearm, didn't like it, went to a smaller, or I don't even want to call that a subcompact, because this is like a micro pistol. This is a subcompact, so this is something smaller than that. You know, it was, sorry about that. This was awesome. The problem was, you try, it's a pocket pistol is really what it is, and you stick it in your front pocket, it's way in the front of your pants down, you stick it in your back pocket, you can't get to it if you need to. You know, it's no matter what you want, you just can't find a good way to carry it. I mean, and that was just me. Now, everybody has their own ideas, everybody else may have, you know, the perfect way of carrying it. I couldn't find just a perfect way to carry the Ruger LCP with it being comfortable. So I even thought about getting a, you know, in the waistband holster for it, but then I was just thinking, you know, it's so small, it's probably going to be difficult for me to get a hold of trying to pull it out anyways. So I said scratch it. I'm not going to use either of these. So I got rid of those, and now I'm left with one. The Keltec PF9. I purchased this about 2 weeks ago, not even, week ago, and I've been carrying it every day, and man, have I enjoyed this firearm. This has been the most comfortable firearm to carry. I mean, so far I have no complaints. I really want to get you know, quite a few more rounds downrange with it, but so far it is just doing extraordinary. I did buy it used. That's why you see these modifications. The aftermarket pistol grip, I don't know if you can see that real well, is there, and it gives it quite a bit of traction because the handle, I believe, is just some type of polymer, but this gives it a rubberized texture and gives you a good solid grip on it. This other piece you can see is a Crimson Trace laser light that also came with it, and I've had a lot of fun playing with it. I haven't tormented my cat or anything like that, but it's been nice to have, you know, if you need to draw quickly and, you know, get your target, you know, in line quickly, it'd be great for, you know, not having to, in a stressful situation or a low light situation where you're having a hard time, you know, getting a great line of sight, you know, on your target. It'd be handy to have. I thought about getting one before for my Springfield, and actually my Ruger is the one I really wanted it for, but you know, they're just so expensive. You know, trying to buy a Crimson Trace for a Ruger LCP is a joke because the gun itself only costs about $250. So you spend another $200 on a Crimson Trace, and you start questioning, well, what's nicer, the the laser or the gun? So I decided not to do that, but I picked this gun up for about $325 at one of my local gun stores here in the Dallas area, and it's super light, considering I really enjoyed how light it was, actually, because if you take into consideration that the Springfield XD9 carries 13 rounds in the mag, 1 in the chamber, I believe. Let me double check that, make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, 13 plus 1. So you're looking at 14 rounds worth of ammunition. That's awesome to have. I'm all for guys who can hold that much ammunition, and I thought I did it when I first started carrying also. But I learned very quickly it was way too heavy. You do that and a spare mag, plus your keys, your wallet, your phone, flashlight, pen, whatever, and pocket knife. All that stuff starts to add up, and man, when you're 6 foot tall and 155 pounds, there's not a whole lot of waste for that, to be carried on. So it makes it difficult to carry comfortably. And I always told myself that I wanted a gun that held quite a few rounds, because I didn't want to get caught in a situation where I needed more rounds than I had. And after carrying for a while and shooting a lot, I started thinking a little differently now about, if I have to shoot 14 rounds at my target, I shouldn't be shooting at the target at all. But that's just my own, theory. So I figure having the 13 plus 1 and the extra mag for this, gives you almost over 30 rounds if you carry the extended mag. I don't plan on getting in a gunfight with anybody. That's the thing. So, I went ahead and pushed that aside, started carrying this. I do carry the spare mag with it in one of my pockets. It's pretty light too. It only has 7 rounds, but it seems like a very high quality magazine. And even between the two, they're still very, very light. Even if you put the weight of the 2 mags and the gun together, it still doesn't equal what the Springfield XD9 subcompact weighs. So, it's substantially heavier. Plus, I didn't have a laser on it. I didn't have any extra features. So it's for the, as Nothing Fancy would say, size and weight constraint, SAWC is concerned. It does a great job. It's small, it's compact, it's easy to carry. Nothing Fancy also mentions in his video that, if something is not comfortable and not, easy to use, you'll just stop using it altogether. Which is true. That's what I started doing. I stopped carrying a lot of days because I didn't want to hassle with putting on my, crossbreed Super Tuck holster, and then sticking my gun in there, and then trying to find, a belt that I could wear. It's just a big hassle because it's so heavy. It's not comfortable to sit with, which I know it's not supposed to be, but if I compare how comfortable it is to sit in the car with this gun compared to this gun, there's no comparison. I can barely feel this one when I'm carrying, and that's something I really, really enjoy about this firearm. So, enough about that. So far, awesome. This isn't a thorough review. This is just more of a first impressions video. Some things I do want to change, though. I do want to get some Trijicon night sights, or some tritium night sights to put on. The sights on this thing are pretty good. They are much better than the sights that come on the Ruger LCP, as you can see. There's nothing there to work with on the Ruger LCP, but this thing has some pretty good sights on it, considering. Other than that, I'd like to get it Duracoated a little bit. I'd actually like to get the whole gun Duracoated. I hadn't decided what color. Maybe like a coyote tan, or maybe like a black OD green combo, or maybe camouflage. I hadn't decided yet, but it's got a lot of wear from whoever owned it before, on the barrel and on the slide, which is fine. It's a firearm, and you can tell it got used, which is good. So I just want to get some of those things covered up and made a little bit more personal, or personalized to myself. So once you get all that set up, it'll be pretty awesome. But this is the new Keltec PF9 in my current EDC everyday carry package, and I've really been enjoying it so far. I'm sure I'll do another video, but if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, don't hesitate to hit me up, shoot me a comment or a PM. I'll try to get them answered for you. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks.